would like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to discuss a very important topic. Today, I will be covering the meaning types and effects of eating disorders. So let's get right into it. The definition of eating disorders is a psychological illness that causes people to eat and think about food in abnormal ways. From Corbus 5. Eating disorders do not discriminate and can occur in people of any age, weight, size, shape, gender identity, sexuality, or cultural background. But teens are by far hit the hardest. The most common eating disorders include anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating. These types of eating disorders can cause emotional problems from 30 to 22. These people can also suffer from violent mood swings and typically hurt relationships with family and friends. Eating disorders are a life-threatening disease. Eating disorders can cause people to have harmful eating habits from Faded 1. It can start in the mind but cause severe effects on the body, whether a person is overreacting or not overeating or not eating at all. Those who suffer from it have abnormally dangerous and unhealthy relationships with food, from Ambrose 14. Eating disorders can cause damage to the heart, muscles, bones, stomach, and many other parts of the body. They can also have severe psychological and emotional consequences, like guilt, shame, and self-esteem issues, from Friedman 5. Eating disorders are very serious and very dangerous. It is not always easy to recognize or identify an eating disorder in someone by observing eating habits and a behavior a few times. Although a person that is extremely overweight or extremely thin might signal some red flags. Some people suffering from eating disorders are normal weights, from Ambrose 16. There are so many unknowns about this subject. A person may simply be dieting and exercising for healthy reasons, from Friedman 6. However, someone who tends to be obsessed with food and dieting or exercise could more than likely be masking a problem or suffering from some type of eating disorder. Experts say there are many factors that can cause a person to develop an eating disorder. Emotional, behavioral, and environmental reasons play a significant role. However, in recent years of study have shown that there may be a genetic predisposition to the development of anorexia, bulimia, or binge eating, from Gillard 48. Sociocultural influences things like thin models and celebrities play a huge role. But drugs and depression and relationship troubles also play a big role, from Faded 22. Sports that put pressure on athletes to be a certain way and social media can trigger or worsen an eating disorder, from Garbus 36. There are social media sites that offer refuge for the eating disorder communities. Some most recent research on the subject focuses on sociocultural influences or psychological factors like low self-esteem or anxiety and depression. There are nearly 1 million males and 10 million females in the United States alone that suffer from some form of eating disorder. Eating disorders do not discriminate based on age, race, or gender, and literally can affect anyone, from Faded 1. There are major risk factors that increase a person's chances of developing an eating disorder, although the majority of sufferers are teens. They are not only age group, Ambrose 21. They are not the only age group, from Ambrose 21. The reason teens are more prone to eating disorders is because they are more preoccupied with their bodies and suffer a lot from stress that they are not mature enough to cope with. According to Ambrose, some teens may develop eating disorders because they feel their weight and how much food they are eating are the only things in life that they can control, from Ambrose 23. Anorexia and bulimia are the two most common types of eating disorders. Ambrose defines anorexia as nervousness, commonly known as anorexia, is an eating disorder which a person starves themselves because they are obsessed with looking thin or terrified of gaining weight. From 27. As a person starves himself, the body will start to consume its own fat, tissues, and organs for food. This will cause all the vital organs to gradually fail and may lead to death. From Ambrose 28. According to Fayed, anorexia is the number one cause of death among girls from ages 15 to 24. Bulimia involves consuming large amounts of food and then purging vomit. Many perceive eating disorders as a new fad or trend, or a quick way to lose a few pounds, which unfortunately is not the case. Eating disorders are very dangerous and life-threatening and should be taken very seriously.